Jen Decker back with another installment of AEW Top 5. Wednesday night was another action-packed episode of AEW Dynamite on TNT, so it's no surprise that this week's Top 5 was a really close one. We were so overwhelmed with all your submissions, and we can't thank you enough for keeping us trending all night long. So, without further ado, here are your Top 5 moments of AEW Dynamite as voted on by you, the fans. Joey Janela's had a rough start to 2020. In fact, it was just a year ago that he was main eventing Fyter Fest against Jon Moxley.
But
now, with his career seemingly
goes without saying.
the bad boy seems to have lost his way. That is, except for when it comes to his last 2 tag matches with Sonny Kiss on AEW Dark. Maybe it's Sonny's unrivaled enthusiasm or his amazing athleticism, but Sonny's been a bright spot since he joined AEW. As Christopher Daniels said last week after their match on Dark, they don't call him the Concrete Rose for nothing. He's a real sweetheart that hits like a brick. And while he's teamed up with a handful of talent on the roster, this unlikely duo really seems to have natural chemistry in the ring. And you guys are just as excited about it as I am because you voted it your number 5 moment of the week.
My name is Joey.
Oh, okay.
And I came to All Elite
I was
Wrestling.
going. I was thinking Sonny Kiss didn't have a match.
What happened?
You know what I mean?
I went from wrestling Jon Moxley in the main event.
I don't know what they're gonna do with these two.
Kind of just faded into the darkness.
See how it comes together. What Joey Janela needs to do is he needs to stop trying to look like Chris Jericho circa mid-90s.
Sometimes I feel like
That's what he
the
was
best
doing.
moments in
You
wrestling
can
are
see
behind
he was
me.
doing it.
Somewhere along the last 6 months or so, I kind of lost my direction.
Joey?
Sonny,
Hey, you need a ride, boo?
what are you doing here?
Hop in. What are you doing here is the real question.
I've been drinking.
You've got to.
Just throw his jacket in there.
Coincidence. Nice car.
Another question is when was the last time that Sonny Kiss wrestled on Dynamite?
Sonny Kiss
Did
and
he
Joey
ever do?
Janela. I think this could be the start of a beautiful friendship. Meanwhile, coming
Yeah, we'll
in
see where it
number
goes.
4, when Orange Cassidy answered Chris Jericho's call last week for the baddest man on the planet, it shot him straight to the top of Jericho's lexicon. So this week, when OC and the best friends beat Hager, Santana, and Ortiz, Jericho was beyond irate, so much so that he left the commentary booth to handle the freshly squeezed one himself, assaulting him with a baseball bat and
This was a
then
brutal
a
break
bag
beatdown.
of blood oranges to the head.
Ironic one with beating him with a bag of oranges.
Jericho's got that bat in hand.
He's got Floyd. And it's not pink.
Oh my God. Oh.
Man, Jericho is pissed.
Oh, to the ribs of Trent with the bat. If nothing else, he's been embarrassed here now. Well, not once, but many times
Yeah.
on television by. Oh,
Is this the next feud for
on the head.
Right in the head.
the what do you call it?
That
For
one.
the Inner Circle?
And Jericho is as violent and vile as we've seen him. He's been embarrassed here on television, here live on TNT, and he's.
I remember what they did to Jon Moxley. I don't think anything could
Best friends for five
top that. That brutal beatdown he did on him.
tag team title shot.
This was pretty bad.
They have been laid out here. And now Santana with the bat in hand.
Then they showed after this they showed they showed Orange Cassidy, with blood coming out of his ear. I don't know if that was,
I got a feeling this is not a peace offering.
No, that's
I don't know if it was real or not.
those are blood oranges.
That's pretty bad when you start bleeding from the ear.
I don't know what.
Loading even more oranges into that bag.
That's got to be 20 pounds of blood oranges.
And Jericho.
Here's my issue with AEW is that these again top 5s
Cassidy
too long.
by that bat.
God. He's bleeding out of the ear.
Come on,
for
he's
God's
out.
sake.
They could edit this up. You know what I mean? Not to make it this long. We got the point of what this entry is.
Oh, that 20+ pound bag of oranges.
Yeah. No, nothing fun. I think that's ill advised to hit somebody
A
with.
bloody orange
That's
Cassidy
pretty.
has
What do you call it?
fallen,
It's just heavy.
And he has fallen hard and heavy.
Not that these guys don't get hit with chairs and all that stuff that are heavy, just maybe just as heavy, but
Orange Cassidy thing
You
extremely.
can control chair shots. You can control. You know what I mean?
The inner circle has
That one. Once the weight goes,
Cassidy
it
to a
goes.
body
The weight of the oranges.
Using blood
You can't
oranges,
control that.
20 pounds of them.
How can you keep from really hitting the person? You know?
Well, obviously this
Oh, they hit the person while I'm but I mean,
sort of premeditation to it.
Sure
You don't leave
control
oranges
it.
and blood orange or whatever the hell they are
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
ring.
You're right.
It's a setup. Jericho's outsmarted his opposition once again.
Well, of course. You know he's able to do that.
Battered
It's
and
Jericho.
bloodied by Chris Jericho in the inner circle.
And bleeding out your ears, any blood is bad. But when it's
Say that again, Ortiz. What are you guys? I didn't hear it. I didn't hear it enough times.
Has just been juiced.
Oh, clever.
Indeed, he
Lord.
has.
Gotta make Floyd look a little more intense, more
Good
intimidating.
question.
Hey, I said that thing, and then JR said good question, so
Coming
he's
in at
listening to
number
him.
3, this week Alex Marvez caught up with the AEW champion
She
Jon
liked it.
Moxley ahead of his match against Brian Cage at Fyter Fest. Mox made it very clear that he's had
This match is gonna be good.
promos on behalf of his client.
That rivalry is being built up every week. That's what I like about AEW, man. They really do, they really amp up and they really build these rivalries up.
But it turns
Fuse,
out
if you
not
will.
even he can stop the path of Cage.
With all due respect, Taz, you are one of
Can you
the
do it a
greatest
little bit?
stalkers.
I gotta watch this again, I guess.
But in this case, there he is right now.
Break it deal. Educate me. I'm sick. Get this out of my face. Educate I'm sitting in my trailer.
Alex Marvez, dude, that guy, he acts to, every time.
Get your head right, because you're getting put out at Fyter Fest.
When he got it, overactor. He got it.
By Brian Cage, this monster.
I think they announced him at one time to be one of the commentators, for Double or Nothing. And I remember him commentating or one thing, and then he sucks. I swear, dude, he's annoying. He's like listening to JBL and WWE commentate or Booker T.
Oh, look at Mox fighting back. Moxley won't quit.
John Moxley.
Oh, look at
Tony Khan's father's a billionaire, so at least they can afford to smash up cars.
Oh, Moxley slammed face first into the car.
If it was a smaller promotion, they'd have to get a used car and old car to Ryan Cage, man. Dude is. I don't know who else I can describe him or compare him to, man. We've seen big guys like him, but it's just like, the guy pretty much is. He definitely is in a class of his own.
Taz being the voice of reason, I guess. My God, he's.
Taz reminds me of Paul Heyman.
spine first.
Yeah. Oh no! Don't do it! But deep down they're going, do it. You got Paul Heyman. I believe he. I heard he. I guess he didn't get removed as the Raw creative person, but he's fired, I guess. I don't know if that happens, but he's gonna come to AEW.
Coming in at number 2 is the women's tag match with Chris Statlander and Hikaru Shida against Penelope Ford and Nyla Rose. I told y'all a few weeks ago, don't sleep on
My
Penelope
2 favorites
Ford.
on one tag team. Love
With her
that.
athleticism and her gymnastics background, she has the real
Penelope Ford came into this
potential
match
to
at
be
number
women's
the
champion.
5th
And
ranked
while
woman.
Hikaru Shida may
Haru,
have
of course,
been
is
a
champ.
little
Number
tainted,
2
you
is
absolutely
number 1
cannot
contender is
deny Ford's star power.
Nyla, I should say. And then number 2 is Statlander. So she won. She got the pinfall, Penelope Ford. So I'm pretty sure she slipped into the number 3 spot. See, and when I seen her wrestle, she actually is good. It's just that there was just that one match a few weeks ago where she was botching, and I don't know what's going on. Miscues maybe, but she's good. She's good in this ring. I thought that was it. And she kicks out.
She kicked right
Yeah.
out here. I don't know this not gonna.
Kip Sabian.
It's Kip Sabian.
Right in front of the referee.
Here comes Statlander. Oh
Oh boy, boom. I did say she's a great wrestler, but she had to use that, so I don't know. Fisherman hook, fisherman suplex.
What an upset!
I think that maybe her little split thing that she does maybe is even better than Melina's. Remember that, Melina, how she used to do it? Man, if I were that ref, man, I'd be scared to be in there with Nyla Rose, because Nyla Rose powerbombed his butt to the, you know, to the thing, the table, you know.
During their interview with Tony Schiavone last week, FTR said they were going to change the landscape of professional wrestling here at AEW.
Ooh,
and if their match with Butcher
sure did.
was any indication, maybe FTR does stand for follow the rules. FTR versus Butcher and the Blade felt like classic AEW.
That's another one, FTR, follow the
So
rules.
it's only fitting that the in-ring debut
Revolution.
clinched the #1 spot.
No.
Sure does. Look at this. Dangerous high rent.
It's after Revival. Yeah, they pulled out a lot of their signature moves. That one. And I guess the Shadow Machine is signature too now. It's not a finisher. They might use that as a finisher in the future. Look at that. Brainbusters. It's funny, I didn't put that together until I saw it again. Until I watched they flashed them again, and I go, yeah, that's who it's. Can you imagine? Look at that. One of the greatest tag teams, managed by Bobby Heenan in WWE. Okay. You see it from the other angle, it looks like he did a splash. That was close, man. They gave him a good match, man. To the Butcher and Blade. It goes to show that they're not, what do you call it? He's been wrestling for 6 years, according to thing. Went to one of the commentators, the Butcher. But he looks like he's been in the ring for like 40 years or something like that. He looks like an old dude, but I guess it's just the way he looks, the way he's, you know. And he looks like a grizzled veteran, you know. But I guess 6 years is long enough to be a veteran, I guess. You think he'd be in the ring like 20 years or something. See, I love how it's just like the Dudley Boys 3D. Out of nowhere, they can hit you with that move. But it was kind of done a little sloppy though. But maybe they just didn't get, they didn't catch Butcher, you know, the right way, kind of off. Speaking of the Brainbusters, Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson, that's their finisher back in WWF days. That was good. Damn. They were gonna win definitely, but I like the way they went about it. They got, you know, they're not taking on a crap team. Pretty good, decent team that they took on. Glad for it. They're good for it. They're gonna be better for it.
The Butcher and the Blade did a tremendous job there as well. What a great opening match here on Dynamite this week. Something we haven't seen a lot of. Just 4 guys beating the crap out of each other in the best possible way.
Yeah, see.
There you have it, guys. Your top 5 moments of AEW Dynamite. How many of you
Butcher was off.
made the cut? Let me know in the comments. Didn't see yours there, though?
I didn't nominate, so mine didn't make the cut, but all those are pretty good. I like those. I can't think of anything else that they left out.
Nightmares taking on the current tag team champs Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page for the AEW Tag Team Championship, and the Young Bucks.
QT can what do you call it? Getting
keep up with us on all the social media accounts.
What do you call it? Getting
Twitter and Facebook, as well
distracted by Ali, who I guess is no longer the bunny.
Don't forget,
she didn't go out with the what do you call it?
With your friends. I'm Jen Decker, reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for being a part of the revolution. I'll see you guys again soon.
That was a great top 5. You know, one thing they didn't include, and I guess maybe just people didn't give a you know what about it, was the TNT Championship match between Cody and Marc Quen. I've said this before and I'll say it again when it comes to Private Party. But this wasn't Private Party, this was one half of Private Party, Marc Quen. And Jim Cornette on his, on the podcast, he was talking about these wrestlers who they are too focused on making their moves in the ring look pretty than making sure that they're, done correctly or effectively. Kind of paraphrasing what he said, but pretty much that's the gist of what he was saying. Marc Quen was on the top turnbuckle with Cody. Cody I believe he hit him with the Spanish Fly. Marc Quen, when he landed, and then like a second later, he does that whole, like, you know how The Rock used to, like, you know, roll backwards out of a Stone Cold Center. That's what he did, but it looks so. You can tell that it wasn't. It's different. Like when The Rock does it, when he gets hit, he falls back and then he rolls. Marc Quen was already on the thing, and then you could tell that he, you know, exerted himself to roll backwards. And it looks. I was like, what the hell was that? You know, like, that's the thing where these guys try to make the moves look, you know, more devastating or more effective or whatever, but it looked so over the top, like he was doing it on purpose, like, kind of thing, where he wasn't going with the momentum. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, these guys are talented, and Marc Quen, I must admit, he did give Cody a great match. He really did. Goes to show that the guy may have a future as a singles in the future, you know. Because I don't know, I don't think that he does that much botching, unlike the guy, his tag team partner. You know, and you talk about a botch machine, that's his partner, tag team partner, Isaiah. Why I always keep forgetting what his last name is, but yeah, you know, and that's the one thing they didn't show, and that's the one thing I wanted to bring up. One of the few things, if I don't remember, you know, anything else that I want to bring up, but pretty much the highlights of AEW was actually, you know, it's brought up in the top 5. Good on the fans for picking those. Also, Allie now. Now, QT, Marshall, and Dustin are going to have the National Nightmares are going to have a tag team title shot, and then they may breed the champions going into Fyter Fest. But QT Marshall is pretty preoccupied and distracted, and why wouldn't he? Especially if it's you know, Allie. She didn't go out with the Butcher and the Blade. You know, she's got bright colors on now. She's more you know, pleasant. You know, she's not that stone-faced bunny that she usually is when she used to be with those guys. So I guess she's not with them no more. All of a sudden, she's with QT. Who's to say that those guys, you know, let's say they're the ones to I think that she's gonna revert to going back to the bunny and somehow screw over QT and Natural. I don't know, whether their title match or when they're champions and then they lose them at Fyter Fest because of a distraction. But they come in and then Bunny does something to distract them. Maybe they're gonna put their title on the line against, and then she screws over QT and her, and then the Butcher and the Blade become champions. Who knows? But it's one of those things, you know, you see it before. You see it coming from a mile away at times with the way they plan stuff. But maybe we'll be, you know, pleasantly surprised this time, and then she actually does stay by his side and doesn't, you know, screw him over. But you know, it might happen. But yeah, that was my reaction to the top 5 AEW moments for June 10, 2020. Very good show. From what I read, the you know, NXT edged out AEW this week. So they're back on top. NXT. So let's see what happens next week. AEW really is building up the Fyter Fest pay-per-view. Well, I don't know if you call it a pay-per-view because they're going to be showing it over 2 nights on Dynamite. So according to Tony Khan, it's free. You know, I guess rewarding the fans for their loyalty. Thank you for that, Mr. Khan. But yeah, well, that's my video for top 5 AEW moments. For those of you who stopped by and checked out my video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care. Please remember to subscribe, click like, and click the bell icon for all notifications on this channel.